Hello again. My name is Lindsay Dawson. Today is August the 17th, 2011, and this is speech number 4, which is Speech of Persuasion. The title of my speech is Banning Beauty Pageants for Children. It is 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and a former beauty pageant mother, Patricia Ramsey, is ready to awaken her 15-month-old baby, JonBenet. This adorable child is sleeping peacefully with her delicate head on her pink satin pillow in her crib, and Patricia is energized and ready to prepare her baby girl for a lengthy weekend filled with makeup, hairspray, and dress gowns. JonBenet is one of thousands of babies who are forced into many of children's beauty pageants that occur each year. Patricia is one of many over-demanding parents who pressure the young and innocent children into beauty pageants every year. JonBenet Ramsey was known for her $1 million smile and gorgeous blonde hair. Patricia treasured each day knowing her little daughter was following in her footsteps. This innocent young girl was forced into beauty pageants at such a young age, and yet friends declared she did not allow it to run her life. JonBenet charmed numerous panels of judges through her short-lived life by winning Miss Colorado, America's Royal Miss, and National Tiny Miss Beauty. She learned how to walk on stage before she was even out of diapers. She was found murdered in the basement wine cellar at her parents' home in Boulder, Colorado. This case attracted widespread media coverage all over the world. As a result of this horrifying tragedy, JonBenet's involvement in child beauty pageants became well known in public universally. JonBenet did not have a typical child's life the total 6 years she was alive. Citizens now were more drawn to beauty pageants because of this particular dreadful incident. If child beauty pageants were not permitted, JonBenet very well might be alive today. JonBenet won trophies and prizes at the pageants with her gorgeous face, eye-catching smile, and cheerful personality. The atrocious individual who murdered this little girl was obviously someone who must have been extremely envious and jealous of her talent, poise, and naturalness she carried with her on stage. It is a shame to say law enforcement officials still have not found the cruel murderer of JonBenet Ramsey. Above all, beauty pageants should be forbidden for any person beneath the age of 18. To begin with, beauty pageants should be done away with for anyone under the age of 18, for the reason that it will in due course have an effect on a child's self-esteem later in life. Self-esteem affects assurance, character, behavior, and feelings. With the majority of girls at any age, low self-esteem is extremely common. I know I had problems with it when I was younger, and I was never in beauty pageants. Development of healthy and strong self-esteem is particularly important to the happiness and accomplishment of children. Beauty pageants place additional emphasis on the contestants' appearance and outer surface rather than what's inside, the inner beauty, which in response sends the incorrect message to youthful minds. In beauty pageants with children who are especially young, the talent segment, I think, is basically a waste of time. Most kids who are at an immature age more than likely don't have a definite talent. Not when you're that young. Under the age of maybe 8, between 5 and 8, anything between that, under that age, I just don't see really anybody having that much talent unless you're a really good piano player or a really good gymnast, and you can just tell, or a really good singer, and you can just tell that the child is well on his or her way of becoming a star when they're older. But I think more than likely when they're young like that, they're not going to have a really good talent that they can show off. Most kids who are at the immature age They more than likely don't have that definite talent. The realism is that most of the pageants are just concerned at looking at a pretty face. With this in mind, it is heartbreaking to say that it can make a child develop into becoming completely infatuated with the way they look. This often leads to children developing a sense of looking down on other people who might be less attractive in return to make themselves feel superior. You don't want your kid growing up being like that. That's being very selfish and basically bringing a brat. For an example, in the Miss Universe contest, women are judged on how proportioned their bodies are. The judges look for flaws such as the shoulders being too square, shoulders too slopey, hips too wide, shoulder bones too pronounced, shoulders and back hunched, irregular legs with spaces and spaces between their calves, knees, and thighs. I mean, come on now, really? Author Gwen states, her self-esteem is taking quite the hit, and she can't tell if there is anything wrong with her shoulders. I think, basically, if you're going to be in a Miss USA pageant or anything like that, you basically have to look like a Barbie doll. Okay? Who looks like that? This type of unreasonable judging can definitely bring a person's self-esteem terribly low. Statistics by Tammy McDaniel Hill state 9 out of 10 girls are age 14 and 15 claim to have suffered depression, with 6% saying life is just not worth living. At 14 and 15 years old? How are you in depression at 14 and 15 years old? Give me a break. Top sources of what produced this feeling was pressure to look good, and that is 94% of our girls to fit in the beauty queen image. Also, 75% of girls with low self-esteem reported engaging in negative and potentially harmful activities. Probably making, if they're bulimic, or they could become anorexic, or they want to hurt themselves because they don't feel that they look better than the girl next to them. And that's scary, very scary. There are not laws in opposition to child beauty pageants. However, state laws should be established, putting minimum age requirements on beauty pageants throughout the United States in order to discontinue the lifetime unconstructive effects it has, and it does have, and will probably have in the future on young children. In second place, beauty pageants should be done away with for anyone under the age of 18 for a reason that it eliminates important instruction in life for children. Beauty pageants require a great deal of commitment and effort that a good number of people do not realize. Children are enforced to spend significant amounts of time each day preparing for the competitions. Every beauty pageant consists of diverse attire that is worn at the pageant. With this in mind, children spend an enormous deal of time at fittings for each outfit they plan to wear, and nearly each and every one of those outfits are handmade. In addition, children must practice many hours for interviews and talent portions of the contest. With incalculable hours of preparation in the world of beauty, children have a tendency to neglect schoolwork and playtime with friends. Allowing school and interaction with friends to go on the wayside for children is the parents' mistake. Education is incredibly essential for everyone, especially young children, for a reason that at the adolescent age, their minds are like a sponge. They're going to soak up everything. So if they're putting their education on the side instead of and wanting to go to beauty pageants instead, what kind of person are they going to be when they're older? They're going to not know anything they're not going to know anything when they are adults. Most of the girls visualize of becoming a model when they're an adult. However, landing a major occupation is slim to none. In nearly most cases, According to the Better Business Bureau, not too many pageantry competitors land modeling careers when they mature. At the same time, traveling is an extra obligation for beauty pageant contestants. What the heck happened? Sorry about that. At the same time, traveling is an extra obligation for beauty pageant contestants. This means a reduced amount of time with family and friends. Children who spend more time with beauty pageants watching their figures fail to benefit from childhood activities such as Easter egg hunting or trick-or-treating around Halloween. Noga states, this is an author, beauty pageants are awful, and so much importance is on looks so early that kids have no chance of having a real childhood. Like, kids should not have to worry about these things. They should be allowed to relax and play while they have the chance. Another author, Annette Hill, actually she's a director of a university royalty, states pageants are like extracurricular activities in school. They should not interfere with schooling. The most participants should ever miss is half a day on Friday for traveling purposes. Pageants are normally preferred on the weekends. Practice is accomplished after school, so therefore education should not be an issue. The real concern should be on future education needs. An interview was completed on 8 to 10-year-olds by the A&E network, and not any of them were concerned with furthering their education. Now, what does that say? In other words, having a high quality education and knowledge of life skills are more essential to children's minds and future success than competing in a beauty pageant and winning a trophy or tiara that gets placed on the shelf and will later accumulate dust. Thirdly and lastly, beauty pageants should be banned for children under the age of 18 because it brings on shallow values upon the children themselves. Beauty contestants are an unfortunate reality of shallow values that have been pushed upon society and throughout the media today. We have been shaped to conform to a certain definition of beauty that is not only noticeable but also humiliating of the female gender. The society, especially young girls, have no doubt swallowed this type of lie, and in an effort to conform to this meaning have fallen to anorexic tendencies and in some cases dependence to plastic surgery. The negative effects of the billion-dollar business far surpass the positive impact. Bring back important perspectives on what we value as a society instead of these type of contests. And in conclusion, beauty pageants should be done away with for children under the age of 18 because it affects the child's self-esteem in a bad way, it interferes with education, and it brings upon shallow values at such an early age. It is unfortunate that we live in a society today where people do not think about the actions before they do them. When people are given children by God to care for and teach, we need to make sure we raise them to be successful and to be the best they can be. I know for sure that when I have children, I will not allow them to do any kind of beauty pageants. What a waste of time. Becoming a good Christian person, having good family morals, and having a good education are the most important things I can teach my children one day. Well, that was it. That was my speech of persuasion, and I really hope you liked it. See you later. Thanks. Bye.